the mission to keep as many men on as many guns for as long as possible. We called him Doc. Welcome to Combat Vet Vision. And now your host, Aaron Chief Seabird.
Hey, how's everybody doing? Hey, welcome to Combat Vet Vision. I know we didn't have one last week, but because Monday was a holiday, but I just want to quickly throw out that 9/11 just came about and went again. As we look back on that September 11th, 21 years ago, that so many tragic things had happened that day that created a huge amount of momentum to go to combat and end up in Afghanistan and Iraq, and set off a huge amount of issues that obviously we're still dealing with today. But I just want to always say that remembering these events in our lives, the history of America, the history of the world, it's an important factor in life. And every day is these kind of days for me. Remembrance, Veterans Day, Memorial Day, because I constantly am involved with combat vets and their issues, patriotism, all kinds of things that are important. But I just wanted to say that I'm right now trying to get. I just want to say that remembering that 9/11 was an important factor in a lot of things that we're dealing with today, and it still and it always will be. Remembering those that lost their lives and doing what they wanted to do in the bubble of freedom. And I talk about that a lot, the bubble of freedom. Someone's watching the wall and you want to believe that someone's going to be watching that wall the whole time. But when it's an internal issue, it can definitely cause some problems. And that's what happened 21 years ago, this internal issue, that some people were able to take advantage of some situations that were available and get in some issues, some planes, and cause some serious damage to our great United States of America. And I just want to say thanks for watching my show. Thanks for coming on and checking it out. This is Combat Vet Vision. I'm Aaron Siebert, lucky to be alive after being hit with a mortar round myself in 2006, third time to Iraq. I came back and I still do a lot of things to help our combat vets, including myself. This is therapy for me, as well as a great opportunity to kind of share some stuff with you. Right now, I'm trying to get Sam Roybal on. Sam Roybal is a United States Army vet, and he wants to be on because he's putting together a really awesome thing for Warrior Built, an event, a car show, bike show, a really cool event that's coming up November 1st. But his father, Chris Roybal, and Chris Roybal never had the opportunity to I never had the opportunity to meet him. Didn't get the opportunity to share some time with him as a combat vet that didn't get to participate in Warrior Built or the PTSD Foundation or anything like that. He was a dog handler, but he lost his life in 2017 in the shooting in Las Vegas. Huge tragedy, but Sam ended up finding us and finding me, and him and I went through a lot of processes to heal together, not only just my healing, but getting his perspective as a father, looking at some of the combat vets that we have as sons, and dealing with his trauma and some of the things that he was dealing with. Great stuff, and when I say we go through a lot of stuff together, it's because we spend a lot of time talking about things that are deep, crazy thoughts, and some thoughts that are very hard to talk about outside of a place that's neutral and non-judgmental and comfortable. And I just think about all these different people that are in my life, different combat vets, different people that are dealing with traumas, and fortunate to have not only a place, the ability, the technology, all these different things that are available to us. But if Sam comes on, he'll come on. We'll have him talk about these things. But if not, I'll just kind of brief it, and I put it in a lot of my informational stuff. and I'll farm it back out to a lot of different people. But he sent me the flyer for this event, and because his son was a K-9 handler, uh, Mission K-9 is also going to benefit from this as well. So you got Roybal Foundation, Mission K-9 Rescue. It's the annual car show, and we've had this car show before, but this time it's getting put together. It's probably going to end up being the second largest car show in America at some point. Talking to Sam and going through some processes, but it's basically October 1st, 2022. It's going to be in Lake Elsinore Outlet Centers. If you're not familiar where that's at, that's 17600 Collier Avenue, Lake Elsinore, California. Time will be from 11 to 4. It should be a great deal. Admission is $10, and the benefits it's going to benefit the Roybal Foundation and K-9 Rescue. But if Sam doesn't get on, that's okay. We'll end up just talking about some other things on the show. But I just want to say, a lot of my time is spent reaching out to different nonprofit organizations. And although I don't know K-9 Rescue personally, it's a great organization that helps the guys out, helps the dogs out, and there's plenty of service animals out there that have served our country in different ways, whether it be dogs that are doing a bunch of things to mules. And when I think about the animal capability of what we went through and what we have to our availability. I went to Bridgeport and I actually did the mule package. Actually got to suture a mule up that got hurt. So when you talk about these animals that are serving our country in some fashion, it's pretty incredible. A mule can carry, if I'm not mistaken, 1/3 of its body weight. A horse can carry half of its body weight. So when you look at a horse and you're like, how much can this horse carry? A 1,200-pound horse, it can carry about 600 pounds. A 1,200-pound mule can carry 900 pounds. So when you look at that, that's the reason why mules are so used and whatnot. However, they follow a mare. So you usually have a mare that carries and goes through the process, and all these mules line up and will follow this mare around. And we did this whole package to get all this stuff and gear up in the mountains. We trained for it, and when we finally conducted that mission, we went up some steep terrain. We ended up having to go back down for water, come back up, and these experiences kind of foreshadow the experiences that we might conduct in combat. And they actually tried to take these mules and send them into combat in Afghanistan, but they were too big. They weren't able to adapt to the environment and didn't do well. So they actually had to use the mules that were there in the environment, which were much smaller mules, maybe something that weighs about 300 pounds, 400 pounds, but you're still able to get a good load on it. But I'm sorry, it's 1/3 of its body weight for a horse, if I'm not mistaken. Half of its body weight for a mule. I'll have to look that up. But when you think about that, it was just crazy. But I will say, I ended up in some serious crazy situations where I had to suture a mule up. Like I said, it just got done coming back from the veterinarian. It reared up and split its head open all the way down its nose, probably a good 14 inches. And I just ended up doing a continuous stitch on this thing because they knock it out to where it's kind of like head bobbing. It's sleeping on its feet. And I just went to town on suturing this guy up. But after that, when we finally went up in the mountains, we were on some terrain that was super steep, like I was saying. And one of the mules ended up rolling down the mountain, breaking trees in half, trees that are like the size of my arm, just snapping them. They medevac that mule off the mountain via helicopter. No damage to it. A couple scrapes and bruises and whatnot, but they found out no damage to it. But my mule, the straps were breaking on its saddle and pack, and I had to drop all the tent gear that it had carried up this mountain, and I was still about 100 meters from the top. So they rigged up some other gear, came down the mountain and hand carried it up, like buddy style, like hand it from one place to the next because it's super heavy. But I had to go down, get a new rig set up, and yeah, we went back up and collected all this gear and got water back up to them too. It was a great experience. But when you're talking about service animals for the military, for the purpose of the military, to get armament, to get weapon systems, to get these things up on the mountain, that's what they use. That's how it works in areas that maybe helicopters can't get to, or different things. Because the elevation, the higher the elevation, the more difficult it is for the helicopters, and the less gear that they can carry. But you know, Chris Roybal, United States Navy service member, dog handler, that put that stuff together, and ended up losing his life in not even in combat. Came back, trying to help out people, and getting himself shot by somebody who just went off for unknown reasons to this day. So yeah, I just want to put a shout out to him, and this great event that's coming up. Please look for it. Please look forward to it. Please get out and check it out. That's October 1st, coming up right around the corner, out at the outlet centers in Lake Elsinore, and that's 11/4. But yeah, if anybody has any questions for me, or anything that they want to talk about, please let me know. I just want to say there's a team of people that put these things together, put these events together, put these things together, just in incredible things. And being part of the PTSD Foundation, being part of Warrior Built, being part of Operation Silver Star, and so many other organizations that are doing some incredible things. I look forward to seeing those organizations pop up on here, talk about some things, maybe get some stuff off their chest. But I really am glad that I had the opportunity to kind of put this out there, and we'll look forward to next week's event. But hey, I want to say, I'm just lucky to be alive. I'm lucky to be here with you. I'm Aaron Siebert. I'm retired Navy chief. I get to spend my time talking to combat vets every day, almost, and it's what I do. Until next time, strength and honor.